Peace to the planet. We in the building. Salute to all of y'all. Welcome to the Ugly Truth Podcast family. I am your host for the evening. Y'all already know Donald Trump, best friend. And we in the building, family. It is January the 27th. It's Monday. And a horrible way to start the beginning of the week, I gotta say, family. But salute to every last one of y'all, man. We here, man. How's everybody feeling? How's the energy? How's everything going? Is everybody, I love to ask that, how's your energy? How we survive and how you survive in the climate, man. The climate, how's the weather where you at? All of the above. But did this, family. I want to jump straight up in this, man. It's a lot of people, always ask what direction or, so to speak, that I wanna, that would be going. A lot of people had asked me, had been messaging about the more recent Lord Jamar uh and Godfrey situation. About 2-3 months ago, Jamar was on Godfrey's comedian Godfrey and Godfrey We Trust podcast. Salute to him. Put the link to the podcast in the description. After this, I'll put it in. I don't think it's in there now, right? It's not okay. We'll put it in the afterwards. And also doing, his podcast. They were talking about flat Earth. He attempted to prove to Godfrey why the Earth is flat, right? And during that, he said he'll debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. A gentleman by the name of Professor Dave. I'm just getting hip to him, through this. And apparently he does, videos as well. Assume he's an actual professor. But he I guess made a challenge. You know what? Better yet, instead of me even trying to explain it, we'll just go on. No, let's see, we'll just pull it as.
As I'm in the midst of applying for residency right now. Wish me luck. Grammarly has again been...
Now they had an ad on your family. Hold on. All right, hold on. Wait, this is not it. Wait, this is not it, y'all. Let's see. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go.
Recent reaction video where I drank whiskey while laughing at a rapping flat earther named Lord Jamar, who was proudly demonstrating his unparalleled stupidity on the podcast of a comedian named Godfrey. Well, that reaction video set off a chain of events that I'm very excited to share with you today, so grab some popcorn and enjoy. If you recall, Godfrey was the host, Lord Jamar was a guest, and then there was this third fellow. His name is Dante Nero, and after I posted my reaction video, he reached out to me by email. He told me that he's a big fan of the channel and that the episode I reacted to was frustrating for him talking about, but he didn't have the tools necessary to combat his script in real time. He expressed interest in having me on Godfrey's show via Zoom to have a conversation with Lord Jamar. Now, upon hearing this request, I was immediately aware that if I agreed to do that, it would be a total shit show. I am intimately familiar with people like Lord Jamar. He's a delusional narcissist and complete douchebag whose entire identity revolves around his perceived intellectual superiority over the rest of humanity, despite being a willfully ignorant, clueless asshat. Basically, he's a flat earther. He is 100% impervious to even the most basic facts and logic, and he will not listen to a word I have to say, no matter how obviously correct I am. But when has that ever stopped me before? So I agreed to go on the show. Now, I will say that I went into this with the intention of remaining relatively cordial as long as possible, but Jamar began insulting him from the first moment. Even though my volume was dramatically lower than theirs, even though he was talking over me constantly, even though there was barely any attempt by Godfrey to moderate him so that I could get equal speaking time, I still took a big steamy dump all over him and made him look dumber than rocks in front of his own audience. So much so, in fact, that after less than 20 minutes of interacting, Jamar threatened to leave the studio if I wasn't cut out of the feed. And then, mere minutes after the live stream was posted to Godfrey's channel, it was pulled. Undoubtedly because Jamar told Godfrey to pull it, since he knew how unbelievably stupid he looked. But my friends, you'd better believe I anticipated exactly this, so I recorded the Zoom session from my end. I knew that this exchange was going to be absolute gold, and I was not disappointed. With that context covered, enjoy this brief interaction with one of the dumbest people alive.
There's not fire in a vacuum of space.
I want to say
Like,
something.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
It's ridiculous.
Like, before we bring Professor Dave, here's my thing.
Man,
There's let me
fuck Professor Dave
Go ahead.
before he even get here.
You know why? When it comes to hip hop, right? There's questions I have to ask because he spent his life studying hip, being a part of hip hop. To take the people that have spent their lifetime understanding physics,
Oh my
science,
gosh.
all kinds of
That
things.
don't matter.
It is absurd. It would be the equivalency if I took
Oh
an
my
internet
God.
dude.
That does not
And
matter.
let me finish. If I took an internet dude who got a couple of tracks and asked him about the history of hip hop, it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
It's one
No, it's
person.
But what about, you say scientists, right, that have been studying for a long time, but there are people who've been in these professions that have there to lie, just like medical apartheid against African Americans. There are trained doctors
When you
that have
follow the
lied to black
money,
people about health.
they're gonna
but
say whatever
how
the
did
money tells them to
nobody
say.
is saying that didn't happen.
No scientist is
Nobody's saying
getting
that didn't
funded if they do not say what the money wants them to say, sir.
Okay, that's
So
conspiracy.
science, no, it's
That's
not. It's
fact.
real. It's
That's
a fucking fact.
But you don't get to say
Science
that
is a
everything's
religion
that
now.
way. You don't
Science
get to say
is
that.
a religion. It is not,
Science is not
what
a
you
religion.
think it is. Oh, yes, it is.
That's
And
another-
and
This is
people
great. That is
worship
insane.
at the altar of science.
Nobody's
And these
worship at the
people are
altar.
your new fucking deacons and bishops, and you believe that they have the power.
Let's
They're
go.
closer to
Let's
God
go.
What
than
did that have
anybody
to do
else.
with it?
No. Hang on a second.
You
My
have-
whole disclaimer before we even start this bullshit, okay, is that, hang on, I issued a challenge,
Yes.
Godfrey,
Mhm.
to even come here to talk
Yes.
to Mr. Whoever,
Right.
scientist man,
Right.
that if he can present me a working model of a ball that water sticks to the outside of it.
Rotating.
Yes, as it rotates, I'll gladly sit down and have a talk with him. He hasn't showed me such model. I can give you a model right now as we sit here.
Oh, is Dave around? Is he there?
He's on. I
Can he hear
give
us?
you a model right now.
I can hear you
Oh.
guys.
Hey, Dave. Dave.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Dave. It's Godfrey. How
With
are
a
you? I don't
concave
see
bowl.
you.
Doing good.
You're doing
Can
good.
you
Oh,
guys see me?
hey.
What up, Dave?
Dave, are you Dave the
going?
scientist?
I'm the one that contacted you, Dave.
Are you Dave the scientist?
Yeah, he's the one
I'm a
that
science
contacted.
communicator.
Science communicator. Well, hey, how you doing? First
What
time
does that
meeting
mean?
you.
different.
I'm doing
Science
good.
communicator.
Science communicator. Okay. Well, here you are. You do not believe in the flat Earth theories, and you are. I've been taught that the Earth has been round for a long time. And when the flat earth thing came around, I said, okay, what's this about? You know, and then I listened to some of the flat earth stuff. And you know what? Some of the stuff made sense. I was like, that kind of makes sense. And then, you know, when you hear about what you've always been learning about, well, that kind of makes sense. And then when I talked to, actually, Dave, when I talked to a fighter pilot, and then they go like 50,000 feet, way higher than commercial jet. I say, have you seen curvature? He goes, yeah, we see the curvature of the earth. That's what he said. I was like,
I've seen multiple videos where they say no.
You talk about we're supposed to take care of your video over a pilot who has thousands of hours.
We've seen multiple pilots say that it's
so Dave. So who's going to go first? Tell us, Dave, why you are against what he believes about that.
Flat Earth is the dumbest hoax in human history. Jamar just watched some videos by Eric Dubé, who just spews a bunch of bullshit, memorized what he says, and repeats it and pretends to be intelligent. Instead, everything you say is so insanely stupid and can be disproven with like middle school level physics.
Really?
So yeah, we can go ahead and you can rattle off.
Do it.
Do you have a working model of a ball that has water sticking to the outside of it? Can you show me a working model of that?
A tennis ball.
Yes, wet. And that, but no. That's not water sticking to a ball. That's saturation of water on the ball.
So
I want you to show me where water sticks to the outside of a ball as it spins. It doesn't go to the equator of the ball and spin off.
I heard what you said.
Show me a working model. Hang on.
You said something very
Show
stupid.
me a working model.
Okay.
The reason that things stick to the Earth is because the Earth is extremely massive, so it generates a very large gravitational field. When water falls off of a ball, whatever ball you're talking about, to the Earth, it's because of the large gravitational field exerted by the Earth. So when you're talking about water sticking to a ball, your desired demonstration of gravity fails because gravity exists. Things fall to the ground.
There is density and buoyancy, sir. Gravity is not some magical thing that makes things drop to the ground. It depends the medium that it is in. If I drop something in the water, depending on how heavy it is, it's going to sink or float.
Wait, I want you all to talk, but
Density
I want to hear both.
First of all, this guy came out real disrespectful, talk about the stupidest shit. Like if he was in this room, I'd be smacking the shit out of him right now.
First of all,
okay,
it's all bullshit.
Right, sir? You know that, right? You know that, right?
The entire body of scientific knowledge. Let me respond to the insanely stupid thing you said.
I want you to respond to my. Let him talk. Okay, we're gonna talk about what pseudoscience.
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so that pretty much is what happened now. You know what I mean, Professor? So again, shout out to Professor Dave, man. Amazing performance. I should say, you know what I mean. But family. What is that? So it is right. We're gonna let's talk about something, right? That despite centuries of evidence, and progress in science, it still seemed to come up, this flat earth theory. For some reason, a small, but vocal group of people, like Lord Jamar, they continue to push the idea that the earth is flat. But, we can put that myth to rest, with a little facts, evidence, and a little fucking common sense, right? Now, first, let's start out with the obvious of ancient proof, right? Look at the horizon. And anyone who's ever stood on a large body of water or, like in an open field and you look out at the horizon, you can see it curve. Now, this curvature ain't something like your mind playing tricks on you. You know what I mean? It's a real curvature. In fact, like sailors like in ancient times noticed this too, and as they sail away from the ports, the mass of the ships would disappear over the horizon first, followed by the rest of the ship. And this is a clear indication that the earth is round, because if it were flat, you will be able to see the whole ship for much longer than, you know, it looks as it goes over the horizon. And then you got things like satellite images, right? You know, and for decades, you know, we don't have the ability to send satellites into outer space, and they regularly take images of the Earth. And you know, these images not just from NASA, and you know, some flat earthers like to claim it's a hoax. Nah, so some a lot of these images come from private companies and countries all over the world. And the Earth is consistently shown as round from every angle. And let's not forget about the International Space Station. You know, astronauts um, aboard the ISS are able to look down on the Earth, and they all repeatedly confirm that it's round. Not a single one of them. And these are astronauts, people that's going out in space, right, for decades, right? Not one of them has ever come forward to say, yeah, the Earth is flat. They see it with their own eyes from outer space, and you know, with their own eyes and images that they seen. And okay, you can look at something even a little more practical, right? Like flight paths. If the Earth were flat, right, the airline routes will look a whole lot different. They'll look drastically different. You know, flights from say New York to Tokyo would take a completely different route on a flat Earth than they do on a globe, right? But the flight times, the route, and the distances are all aligned perfectly with the Earth being a sphere. In fact, like long haul flights take advantage of the Earth's curvature and its rotation in order to reduce the flight times and save fuel. And this is all based on solid spherical geometry, not, you know, uh, horizontal flat plane. You know what I mean? And then obviously you would have, like Dave was trying to explain to Jamar, you have to consider gravity. You know, and gravity is a force that pulls the center of mass on a spherical Earth. You know, gravity pulls straight down, which is why people and objects feel as though they are being pulled toward the ground whenever they're on Earth. On a flat Earth, gravity will behave a little different. It will pull everything toward the center of a flat plane, causing a strange effect. You know, people will be you'll be feel like you're being pulled sideways, you know, the further you get from the center of the Earth. And this don't happen though, because gravity works exactly as expected on a spherical planet. You know what I mean? And we also got to talk about, you know, the shadow of the Earth, you know, during the lunar eclipse. You know, and during the lunar eclipse, you know how they say the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. Now that shadow is always round, y'all. Think about it. You don't see one or two, right? And a flat Earth can simply it can't a flat Earth can't cast a round shadow no matter how you position it. And only a spherical object can create the kind of shadow that has been observed, you know, by countless people, you know, including the astronomers. And this done happened for thousands of years, y'all. A lot of your and the Antarctic expeditions. If the Earth was flat, right, Antarctica would be an impassable ice wall, right? Think about it. Like they're keeping the oceans from falling off the Earth. If that's technically what y'all are saying on a flat plane. Now, by countless explorers that have done navigated Antarctica, and you can visit the South Pole yourself. You got the money and the time. You know, people have crossed the Antarctic continent by land, proving it's not an edge of flat world, but a massive ice-covered landmass at the southernmost point of a spherical planet. You know, and then the most simple fact of all, family, the science and technology we use every day relies on a round Earth. Think about the GPS system, satellite communications, your weather forecasting. All of these are possible because we understand that the Earth is round. If the Earth was flat, these systems wouldn't work the way they do. Our entire modern technological infrastructure depends on the understanding that the Earth is a globe. You know, and the evidence is overwhelming, and from ancient sailors observing the curvature over the horizon to modern satellite technology showing us Earth from space, and astronauts that, again, not one have ever said that the Earth was flat. Earth is round and not flat. And if we're going to advance as a species, We need to base our beliefs on facts and evidence and not conspiracy theories. And that, my friends, is the ugly truth.